afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Our distinguished speaker of the day, Ms. Mona Srivastava, General Manager and Head of Marketing in the Consumer Retail Division at Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. Esteemed HOI, AIIT, respected faculty members, and my dear friends. With the blessings of our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Anil Vashista, Ascent and AIIT are delighted to warmly welcome you all to the Skill Development Workshop on Leadership and Communication in Action. I am Ritul, a student of MC from AIIT, and I have the privilege of being your host and MC for today's program. As John Quincy Adams once said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, and do more, and become more, you are a leader. With that thought, let us begin today's journey into understanding leadership and communication more deeply. Now let's talk about importance of leadership. Leadership is not just about titles or positions. It is about influence, vision, and the ability to guide others towards success. In today's dynamic world, technical knowledge alone is enough. It must be complemented with strong leadership and communication skills to thrive in both personal and professional spaces. With that, let me explain today's session schedule. Our workshop is structured in two parts. The part one, it is an online industry expert session by our distinguished guest speaker, Ms. Mona Srivastava. The part two is a hands-on workshop facilitated by our Ascent faculty focusing on reflection exercises, role plays, and scenario based talks. It is now my privilege to introduce our distinguished guest speaker for today, Ms. Mona Srivastava, General Manager and Head of Marketing Consumer Retail Division of Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. With over 15 years of leadership experience, Ms. Srivastava has been driving force in BPCL's digital transformation journey. She pioneered the integration of BPCL with leading platforms like Amazon, Paytm, and Bharat Bill payment systems, enabling millions of LPG customers to embrace digital payments under the leadership. BPCL scaled to serve more than 50,000 daily LPG payment users and conducted over 100 workshops across India to promote digital literacy. She has worked closely with organizations such as NPCI, Amazon, Aditya Birla, Paytm, and PhonePe, sharing impactful strategies and enhancing customer experiences. Alongside her corporate achievement, she's pursuing her PhD in management at Amity University, focusing on digital payment adoption in the Indian LPG sector. Her journey reflects leadership, innovation, and continuous learning, making her a role model for young professionals like us. Today, she will be sharing her insights on a theme close to all of us, from code to leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcome Ms. Mona Srivastava.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Ma'am, you are.
Okay. I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good afternoon, dear students, distinguished faculty, and at the outset, I would like to give my profound thanks to Amity Management who have made this talk possible. It's always very, very exciting to be speaking to the young minds. So the today's topic, very relevant, as said in the beginning of this program, the leadership and communication. These are the two pillars on which entire working life is based. First, we will try to understand the meaning of these two words and how I place them. For me, what is personally the meaning of the word leadership? It's a very big word. We have so many connotations for it. But for me, a leader is a person who first knows how to be one's own leader. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Before we try to be a leader for others, before we try to lead others, leadership means taking charge of oneself. Leadership means that I take full responsibility for what I do and I say. Leadership is being responsible. Leadership is about being accountable. To whom? Responsible to whom and accountable to whom? To my own self. Every individual and all of you also must be, we are driven by a value system. What are values actually? Values are our guiding posts. What is it that guides me in my life? Say, for example, uh, honesty, sense of freedom, being ethical, being responsible for my own actions are some of the values which have driven me. So, no matter what the situation is, I I keep my values uppermost. I am a person who is a leader of oneself first. Once I have passed that test in my own eyes, now I can say that I'm ready to get into the world. The second word, which is in our headline today, is the communication. What are we doing now? I am trying to communicate to you all. So, communication, as the word says, it has two parts. One, a person who's communicating, and all of you, the receivers. So, often we feel that to be able to communicate well, uh, I should have very good vocabulary. I should have a good personality. Yes, all those are basic ingredients of a good communication. But communication is the art of being understood. You see, most of the times we say, "Arey, misunderstanding ho gayi." So, which means that it is not what I am saying is important. That is only 30% of the communication. 70% of the effectiveness of communication lies in the fact that how you are perceiving it. What is it that you understand? If at the end of our talk, I am able to make you understand the things which I want you to understand the way I want, means I am understood correctly, I would say that I am a good communicator. It is not about words, it is not about voice, it is not about dictum, it's not about modulation, it's not about my facial expressions, nothing. It's simply that I am able to transfer correctly from here to your mind. That's a communication. Now you see how important communication is. All the time you need communication. Once you have come out of your classroom, the first exam of communication you are going to face is when you would be sitting for your placement interviews. I would definitely like to spend 2-3 minutes here as to how one should be preparing for an interview. I have I have the opportunity to go and visit many campuses from Bharat Petroleum for interviewing candidates for taking them into our organization. So I will tell you as an interviewer, what are the skills which we are looking. First thing is that A pleasing face is a very good beginning point. See, I have seen at times students who have come for interview, ऐसा लगता है सुबह सोकर उठकर आ गए। हाँ, उन्होंने मुंह भी नहीं धोया है अपना ठीक से। So you just imagine that if you present yourself in such a state to a interviewer, how the interview panel is going to look at you. The first thing which you have to demonstrate is that how enthusiastic you are for the interview, for the task which awaits you at hand, how important it is for you, and how you will show the importance. You will show the importance by the details, by the efforts that you have made to present yourself. If you are, I have seen students have come with and we go to many times the so-called, okay, if you ask me, all institutes are good and all students are worthy. There are no good institute, bad institute, high rank, low rank. At least personally, I do not subscribe to this theory. It's an individual acumen which will take you to places. And a university or a college is only as good as its students. So Amity is as good as Harvard. If the students of Amity are working as hard as the students of Harvard are working, that's all. So it's the studentship which is important. It's the we at times as students we all have done that, we start judging the quality of teachers or the colleges, but how many times we look into ourselves as students. So coming back to the moot point, so I've seen that they come wearing shirts which are not ironed, which means that they are not serious. They think that they are in a big college, maybe IIT, NIT. Once they have entered, सब कुछ खत्म, अब और उनको कुछ नहीं करना है। वो कैसे भी ड्रेस हो सकते हैं, चेहरे पे कुछ भी दिखा सकते हैं, बाल कैसे भी हो सकते हैं, वो तो आईआईटी में पढ़ते हैं, अब आपको लेना है तो आप लीजिए। ऐसा नहीं होता है, ऐसा नहीं होता है। ईच एंड एवरी टाइम व्हेन यू प्रेजेंट, एंड दिस इज अ important attribute of a leader, there is something called, there is a word called executive presence. Executive presence means that when you walk into a room, people take notice. That's what executive presence is. यूपी में मैं बहुत साल यूपी में ही रही हूँ, मैंने पूरी पढ़ाई यूपी में करी है। एंड आई हैव बीन, माय फादर वाज इन रेलवेज एंड ही वाज पोस्टेड इन स्मॉल प्लेसेस, स्मॉल टाउन्स। You cannot imagine 30 years ago what you think a place called Gonda would be like. एक एक हफ्ते तक लाइट नहीं आती थी, ठीक है। सो इट्स नॉट अबाउट वेयर यू आर, what your circumstances have been till yesterday. It is all about today, what you are going to do. You have got a good platform as a BCA and MCA students in Amity. You are going to go and join the leading IT industries in the coming days. So it's how you develop yourself would would be how you rise in any industry. It's all about investment in yourself. How serious you are about your own life. If you are not serious about your own life, then you think that in the future, your boss, in whose team you are, would be serious about you. No, like I said in the beginning, I am a firm believer in the fact that leadership starts with you. You have to first be your own leader. Own leader means that you are fully responsible for the actions that you take. Of course, who else would be responsible? If anyone says, I am not this because somebody else was like that, or maybe my parents did not do this, or I did not get a teacher worthy of it, or this. As long as you continue to place responsibility uh, on the external factors, it will be an impediment in your progress and growth. If you want to grow, if you want to, whatever dreams you have, I wish all of you, it's my sincere wish that may all of your dreams come true. That's what life is for. Life is given to us to fulfill our own dreams. And who has the capability to fulfill those dreams? Only me, only I. My actions, which I would take with logic, with rationality, those are the only pillars, those are the only detriments for taking me to where I want to be. And I tell you that how much dreams are important. All of you must dream. See big dreams, large dreams. Dream as much as you want. Don't let any barriers come when you are dreaming. All of you must be knowing our President Abdul Kalam Azad. He used to say कि सपना ऐसा होना चाहिए. सपने कब आते हैं हमको? सपने हमको तब आते हैं जब हम सो रहे होते हैं. बट ही सेट कि सपना ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो आपको सोने ना दे. आपका सपना इतना पावरफुल होना चाहिए कि आपको नींद नहीं आए कि कैसे मैं अपना सपना पूरा करूंगा. सो दैट्स व्हाट द पावर of dreaming is. It will fill you with the resolve and the determination and the strength to fulfill your dream. Now coming back to the leadership. So I put there are four things which I say that in a leader, whether you are leading a team, you are leading yourself, wherever you are, if you want to see yourself in leadership roles, the story, the journey begins with you. You have to invest in yourself. There are certain things, certain pillars, certain milestones which you have to follow before you can think of becoming a effective leader. And in my own view, there are four very, very important things. First thing to which I place number one importance is discipline. A life which is disciplined is equal to a successful life. Without discipline, no matter where you are, it will be very difficult to achieve. Discipline is the first thing. Discipline about what? Discipline about each and every aspect of life. Discipline of time. If you have promised someone to meet at a certain time, India is, anyways, if we compare our corporate culture with that of the Western countries, we are, anyways, not respected much in terms of our professionalism. It is said, इंडिया में तो आईएसटी बहुत फेमस है ना, आप सब लोग जानते ही. अगर किसी को जन्मदिन के पार्टी में 7 बजे टाइम होता है और जो 7 बजे पहुंच जाता है वो खुद को अकेला पाता है. क्योंकि अगर इनविटेशन कार्ड पे 7 बजे का टाइम लिखा है तो विच मीन्स कि 8 बजे के तो पहले पहुंचना ही नहीं चाहिए. सो जस्ट लुक अराउंड, ये हमने अपना कल्चर बना लिया है. दिस इज द कल्चर दैट वी हैव मेड, एंड दिस कल्चर इज एवरीवेयर फ्रॉम ऑफिसेस टू होम, बिकॉज वी आर सेम. I am same. If I am a punctual person, which means I am punctual at all places. And if I am not, then I will not be punctual even in my professional life because I am same. The me inside is same. Wherever I carry myself, I am carrying the me inside me, whether it's in office or in home or in neighborhood. So discipline of time. Then the second discipline is of my health and diet. You must be thinking what I am talking about. But in the long run, if you want to be a horse of long run, अगर आपको लंबी रेस का घोड़ा बनना है, तो आपको अपनी जो हैबिट्स हैं और जो रूटीन है, और पर्टिकुलरली when you would be going out from your college and joining a corporate or an institution, then that discipline is very much required. आप रात के 3 बजे सोएंगे और सुबह 9 बजे आपको ऑफिस पहुंचना है तो जाहिर है कि आप टाइम पे नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे. और अगर आप कैसे भी गिरते पड़ते 9 बजे तक पहुंच गए तो आपने ब्रेकफास्ट नहीं किया होगा. एंड इफ यू हैव नॉट ईटन प्रॉपरली इन द मॉर्निंग, देन हाउ विल यू हैव द एनर्जी टू वर्क थ्रू आउट द डे और गिव योर बेस्ट. because ultimately the bodies are primarily machines. Machines need regular servicing. Machine needs looking after. So the discipline, so discipline of time, discipline of diet and health, then time management. So time management is very important. I'll just give you I'd like to spend 2 minutes on the aspect of the time management. So if we look at our one full day, as a student also, it is very important that you have deadlines, you have projects to complete. Uh, so there would always be, you can divide the time into four quadrants. So one axis you can take as important and not important. Take this axis important, not important. Take this axis as urgent and not urgent. So now you have four quadrants. So urgent and important, then not urgent and important, and like this, these two quadrants. In a day, you would have activities which are urgent and important. They have to be done. But the quadrant which gets most neglected are things which may not be urgent but are important. Your health comes in such a quadrant. If you are exercising regularly, if you are taking care of your health, and health also means physical and mental health both, and emotional health. How to take care of emotional health is by having good friendships, good relationships, respecting all, being kind, polite, well behaved. When you bring these attributes in your own personality, you have set of people around you who are also behaving well with you. And this creates a positivity. And then you are a positive person. For people who are positive, when they sit and talk, they talk of positive things. And that's how you build each other up. So your circle of friendships should always be very, very positive, where each one is having the attitude of helping other. And this is one attribute which always makes Yeah. So collaboration is something higher than cooperation. Collaboration is when we are having a feeling for good for all. So, so when we collaborate, we all progress. Okay, it's we have till now humanity used to think that we say that the best theory is survival of the fittest. But now world is moving away from this theory. The latest research is saying that it's not survival of the fittest. That I survive by killing someone. No, it doesn't happen that way. I will survive only if you survive. This whole theory of sustainability and climate change is based on this only. We have to collaborate. If we have to save this climate, if we have to save our planet, we all have to follow sustainability practices. So collaboration is a very, very powerful tool to progress collectively. So so therefore, so time management. So if we are focusing on activities which are important because but not urgent, if we focus on that and take care of them, then they don't become urgent. So you must have heard a word called firefighting. Most of the time we do firefighting. What does firefighting means? Firefighting means कि जब आग लग गई है तो तब तो हम जा रहे हैं कुआं ढूंढने के लिए कि अभी कुआं कहाँ है, फिर वहां से पानी निकालेंगे। ठीक है, दिस इज व्हाट एक्चुअली फायर फाइटिंग मीन्स कि आग लग चुकी है, तब पानी तो स्टोरेज करके तो रखा ही नहीं था, अभी तो कुआं ढूंढने जा रहे हैं कि कुआं मिलेगा, फिर उधर से पानी निकाल के लाएंगे और आग बुझाएंगे। सो देन यू कैन इमेजिन दैट व्हाट अ डिवास्टेटिंग फायर दैट वुड बी। सो so therefore, now there is one quadrant here in the time management which is not important and not urgent. You must map your 24-hour day as to how much time you spend there. Okay, and not sounding at the cost of very cynical. And this is not a ज्ञान। आप सब लोग बच्चे आज बहुत डिजिटल savvy हैं, आप लोग डिजिटल नेटिव्स हैं। और मैं बिल्कुल ऐसे कोई ज्ञान टाइप नहीं बोलना चाहती हूँ। दिस इज ओनली फॉर योर डेवलपमेंट दैट आई वांट टू से दिस, दैट प्लीज बी वेरी माइंडफुल। आई एम यूजिंग द वर्ड माइंडफुल। Be mindful of the time that you spend on social media. It is important. Being on social media, using it effectively. LinkedIn is a very good platform where you must start developing your profile from now onwards, so that you are noticed in the corporate world, and you build connections and you progress. But at the same time, you have to be extremely mindful as to how much time you are spending on your uh, digital surfing timing, because that is the quadrant which takes away time without us being aware. That's where it kills us, that we do not realize that how much time has gone. And therefore, so you would find people, that there are people who are always complaining कि time नहीं है. So I will, without the cost of sounding, it's not about that I am telling you things about myself. I want to glorify myself. No, I'm just trying to tell you that I work, I read, I study, read books. I am a yoga practitioner. I learn music. I'm always ready to do pro bono work with. I counsel many students. I do my mentorship also, and I mentor young minds. So many a times people ask me that how is it that you manage your time? How you able to do so many things, that you are doing this also and you are doing that also? There is only one simple formula which I want all of you to learn. The whole idea of coming here and speaking to you is that, mm, I can do experience sharing. That's why I am here for. So so that is that you are aware of what you are doing 24 hours in a day. Most of the time just goes by and we don't realize. A day goes, and then a week goes, then a month goes, and there are deadlines upon our head, and we are running here and there. So to spend your day in awareness कि मेरे पास कितना टाइम था, मुझे कितने काम करने थे। हाँ ठीक है, हफ्ते में एक दिन you can just take liberty with yourself. You have to take sometimes liberty with yourself. If you try to discipline your mind and yourself in a very strict manner all the time, mind is going to revolt. वो विद्रोह कर देता है, बोलता है आज मैं तुम्हारी कोई बात नहीं सुनूंगा, सब तुम ये अपना शेड्यूल और ये टाइम टेबल साइड में रखो, आज तो मैं बिंदास जो मुझे करना है करूंगा। सो माइंड को वैसे स्लॉट्स भी हमको कभी कभी देने होंगे, बट मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम माइंड इज अ वेरी फाइन मशीन, बेसिकली, जिसको हम जितनी अच्छी डायरेक्शन देते हैं, जितना अच्छा नेविगेशन देते हैं, वो उतना अच्छा काम करता है। एक बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ मैं आपसे शेयर करती हूँ, एंड I am not going away from the core of leadership that we are discussing. All the things that I am telling you are the components, part and parcel of a good leader. A leader who's not disciplined, a leader who does not know how to manage time, a leader who's not taking care of its health will not be a leader in the long run. So these are the important pillars. The journey to leadership begins from you. First, the basic unit is you. You have to invest time in yourself. There is a book called Psycho Cybernetics by Maxwell. Okay, I can send the name and link to ma'am, and she can then share with all of you. So this book is very interesting. So cybernetics is the software which is designed for aircrafts and all that. So you know that aircraft, once a pilot has taken it to a certain height, then there is something called autopilot, and the pilot puts the aircraft on the autopilot. So what for autopilot it has to do is that it has to just put the coordinates, the longitude, the latitude, कहाँ पर उसको जाना है वो डाल देगा, तो फिर प्लेन वो डायरेक्शन में अपने आप उड़ता रहता है. Now the author is arguing that our brains have the same mechanism. If we give direction to our brain, अगर हम अपने अपने आप को एक गोल देते हैं, that's why the importance of something called target and goal setting. It is very very important to set goals for yourself कि जब आप सुबह उठते हैं, every day you must give yourself a goal. It can be anything. चांद पर पहुंचना है मुझे आज, ये गोल हो सकता है, बट हम छोटे छोटे गोल्स हमें अपने माइंड को देने हैं रोज सुबह उठ करके. एंड बिलीव यू मी, आप ये इस स्ट्रैटेजी को फॉलो करिए एंड यू सी दैट हाउ डिफरेंट योर डे इज गोइंग टू बी. आई गिव यू वन एग्जाम्पल कि आज सुबह उठकर मैंने खुद को ये गोल दिया कि आज मेरा दिन बहुत पॉजिटिव होने वाला है. टुडे आई एम गोइंग टू think only positive things. I will not allow a single negative thought to come to my mind. Now I can assure you कि ये ब्रेन याद रखता है. ब्रेन हैज अमेजिंग कैपेसिटीज. हम उसको अंडर एस्टिमेट करते हैं. Once I have given this goal to myself in the morning, the whole day my brain will remind me. Whenever any negative thoughts will come, it will remind me, अरे तुमने तो ये सोचा था सुबह, अभी तुम इधर कैसे जा रहे हो. So, so this psychologists have proved that brain, once it is given a goal, जैसे किसी मिसाइल को, और ये साइबरनेटिक्स उसका ही पूरा साइंस है, ऑटो पायलट उसका ही साइंस है कि जो हम मिसाइल बनाते हैं, व्हाट आर वी डूइंग विद अ मिसाइल, कि मिसाइल को एक कोऑर्डिनेट दे दिया जाता है, और वो मिसाइल को जब हम फायर करते हैं तो वो सीधा वो टारगेट को जाके हिट करता है. ठीक है. सो दिस इज द सॉफ्टवेयर विच इज बिल्ट इन टू द मिसाइल. आप लोग तो सब सॉफ्टवेयर के एक्सपर्ट होने वाले हो अभी. हु नोस कि आप में से कोई नासा चला जाएगा, कोई कहीं पे डीआरडीओ में जाके काम करेगा और हमारे लिए कुछ मिसाइल्स टेक्नोलॉजी पे काम करेगा. सो फ्यूचर इज इनफाइनाइट. यू हैव इनफाइनाइट पोटेंशियल ahead of you. So so the missile goes and hits the target. So the psychologists are saying that our brain has similar mechanisms. If we provide them goals, all our actions, unconscious, subconscious, and conscious, all the machinery, all the parts of the brain will take us into the same direction. किस डायरेक्शन में लेके जाएगा? वही डायरेक्शन जो हमने गोल सेटिंग का किया है. Therefore, I urge all of you, my dear students, to set up goals for yourself. You should have daily goal, weekly goal, monthly goal, yearly goal, even a goal 5 years, 10 years, where I see myself in next 5 years. मैं अगले 5 साल में अपने आप को कहाँ देखना चाहता हूँ, उसको क्लियरली आप देखिए, उसको क्लियरली आप लिखिए. Once you write down anything, it becomes very powerful. To develop a habit of writing a daily diary or journaling is a very powerful habit, more so for a leader. This is also called, आप इसको mentally भी कर सकते हैं. There's a small exercise which all of us can do, which I do very regularly. It's called review of the day. जब आप रात में सोने के लिए जाते हैं तो आप सोने के पहले either you can have a diary where you write or you can do this mentally that you review your whole day. आप जब सुबह उठे और पूरे दिन आपने कैसे अपना दिन बिताया, what all you did, what all you said, what all others told you, what situations came your way and how you handled those situations. And what was your response? What was your response to the situation which was presented to you? Was your response appropriate? Was some other response would have been better? What this review of the day does is that it helps you to correct your behavior next time. And when you are reviewing कि मेरा क्या response था, तो आप ये सोच सकते हो कि अच्छा ये situation हुई, उसने ये बोला था और मैंने ऐसे जवाब दिया, तो क्या ये सिचुएशन को मैं और किसी तरीके से हैंडल कर सकता था? क्या मैं कुछ और बेहतर जवाब दे सकता था? क्या मेरा एक्शन कुछ और बेहतर या डिफरेंट हो सकता था? नाउ यू हैव थॉट इट, सो इट हैज गॉन इनटू द your memory and into your subconscious. So next time, it is very much likely that when such a situation again comes, your response would be what you had thought ideal. Ideal response जो आपने खुद के लिए सोचा था, अभी हो सकता हो आप हर बार एवरी टाइम आप उसके करीब और करीब और करीब आप पहुंचते जाएंगे. तो इसके लिए ये जो रिव्यू ऑफ द डे है, ये बहुत पावरफुल एक एक्सरसाइज है. आप इसको कर सकते हैं. और जर्नलिंग इज ऑल्सो हाईली रिकमेंडेड. जर्नलिंग लाइक मैंने बोला कि आप एक डायरी रखिए एंड यू राइट इट इन द डायरी and you can keep that diary. I have so many diaries, and if I could show you, you will be surprised. Thick diary, small diary, big diary. That diaries for everything. There is a yoga diary. Then there is a diary which I am now maintaining from 2000, almost 2011. So how many years? We are sitting in 25. So quite a lot of years, more than a decade. So what do I do? What is there in that diary? Every time I read a book, every time I read a book, what I do, first I put down the date and then the title of the book and the author, and I will make a small brief, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना जस्ट बना लेना या उसका एक प्रेसी बना लेना कि उस बुक में क्या मुख्य बातें लिखी थी. कोई भी बुक मैंने पढ़ी, ठीक है. जैसे एग्जाम्पल मैल्कम ग्लैडवेल एक बहुत फेमस ऑथर है, उसकी एक बुक जो बहुत पॉपुलर है कॉल्ड आउटलायर. सो आई रेड दिस बुक, विच डेट, ऑथर, बुक, what is it it is saying. So I still remember because I write maybe I'll write the 10 important points or the 20 bullet points, highlight points, sometimes some paragraphs also. So therefore I remember also. So if I try to recall कि Malcolm Gladwell की Outlier book में सबसे important बात क्या लिखी थी, so he says that the research supports that if you want to learn any skill, suppose you want to learn, you want to become a good guitarist and you want to learn playing guitar. So it says that it requires 10,000 hours of practice. How much? 10,000 hours of practice for any skill to reach to its perfection or to its height. जो भी उस क्षेत्र में जिस ऊंचाई तक पहुंचना पॉसिबल है, वो ऊंचाई तक पहुंचने के लिए यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस दैट स्किल फॉर 10,000 आवर्स एंड इट इज बेस्ड ऑन वेरी सॉलिड एंड लॉन्ग रिसर्च. So like that, I have a diary where I am maintaining all the books. So I have a record from 2000, say 11, 12. Every year I manage to read 20, 25 books, and there are that many entries in that diary. And I had taken a thick diary. It is still continuing. It is abhi wo आधी ही भरी है. So abhi there are many more books to come into the diary. So again, coming back to the leadership. So I have told you about the importance of discipline, because if you want to do so many activities without discipline, it is not possible. I told you about time management, how important it is. Then health. Health is becoming, if you see the expenditure on health is rising, and health is becoming a very costly and crucial affair. And we are also seeing one more trend in health is that the diseases which were affecting earlier middle age people only or above that age are now coming and hitting the young people also. So the good habit of maintaining health, a good habit of exercising daily starts with the age that you are there right now. Okay, so with that, with the health, I would like to point out one thing is that it is very, very important to have some hobby, each one of you. When we are students, when we are busy in our studies, we don't find much time to pursue our hobbies. But if you are effectively managing your time, then you can take out some time. It can be anything, it can be singing, it can be dancing, or sports. Playing any sports is a very good habit. Badminton, TT, swimming, even running. Get up in the morning, go run. And a person who plays, who is a sports person, is rarely depressed. Depression is a word which does not exist in the life of a sports person. उसके पास depress होने के लिए time नहीं है. So playing a sport is a very good habit. I would like to encourage all of you, जहाँ पे भी possible हो, and companies are also engaging. Many corporates, even our company, we will have a gym in our office. We have a yoga room. Why? Because we have been hearing this. ये बहुत पुराना ज्ञान है. हम सब ये सुन के बड़े हुए हैं कि in a healthy body exists a healthy mind. So therefore to exercise, and we all have read this. I'm not telling any rocket science that when we are playing, when we are exercising, endorphins are released in our brain, which make us feel very good. That's why once you get into the habit of exercising or playing, then it feels good and you return to it again and again. With the health part, one thing which I want to share is that please spend some time every day in bright sun. Please allow yourself uh, to get some sunlight. Not that from the only from the vitamin D perspective. There is a very important function which happens in sunlight. When the sunlight falls on our eye balls, a chemical reaction is triggered in the brain, and it produces a chemical called serotonin, and it is produced only in sunlight. And this serotonin is responsible for controlling our moods. Therefore, people who are in hospitals and who are in ICU, critical patients, they often get into depression because they do not get the sunlight. So, therefore, whenever there is, and we are blessed in our country with abundant sunlight. I am right now speaking to you all from Mumbai. As you can see, even I have not put any background. It's my room as it appears. So there are a lot of clouds. We are having, since 4 or 5 months now, we are having continuous rains, hardly any sunlight. So sun is very, very important to keep us in good mood. Yeah. So with the health thing, I have covered the health. So pursue a hobby. There are many more advantages of pursuing a hobby. It keeps you emotionally healthy, mentally healthy, and it's very important that you feel happy. Again, coming back, I never go away from the central theme that is given to me is leadership. A very effective leader is one who's happy, who's always smiling. You immediately like a person who has a good smile on his or her face. Anybody likes a grouchy face? Nobody. Nobody likes. Everybody likes to see a face which is cheerful, and a leader who is cheerful, who's positive, who's optimistic, who's dreaming for himself and for his team. He's always loved by other people. If you want that people should listen to you, people should follow your advice, you should become a role model, you want to become an example for others, then you have to first make solid investment in yourself. If you want to know that what is one thing which I would like you to leave you with when this my talk, I have another 17 minutes to go. My time is till 15:30. So what is it that one takeaway when all of you, my dear young bright students, when you leave this room, what is it that I want you to take? And it would make me very happy. I will not know that. I will not know that because I won't know what actions you took when you reached your home or your hostel rooms. But if you went back and wrote one sentence that I would invest in my own self. I would make investments in my happiness, in my health, in my time management, in developing myself. Because if you decide to do that, nobody can stop you from becoming successful and nobody can stop you from achieving your dreams. The achievement of your dreams start. The first step is the decision that you are going to take today, that I will be investing in myself to develop good habits, to develop good discipline, to develop good health, to develop a cheerful disposition, to work on my happiness quotient. So to pursue a hobby is very important. Now, I would be taking the last portion of my talk, which is again investing in yourself. That you are in software industry, you are learning the ropes of it, but at the same time, you must gain knowledge of other sectors. Try to increase your knowledge base. Try to read as much as possible. Reading never goes out of fashion. And why we should read. And everywhere we are listening now that the attention spans, हमारे attention span बहुत कम हो गए हैं. ये रील जो है जो 30 seconds है या यूट्यूब शॉर्ट्स है, so very fast action is happening there. The scene, the content, the subject is changing very fast and we are jumping from one subject to another, one topic to another in a very fast manner without going deep into anything. And therefore, it is taking away our cognitive abilities to concentrate on a task. You know, we hear about the benefits of meditation. It is said कि आप सुनते होंगे चारों तरफ कि हमें मेडिटेट करना चाहिए, उससे बहुत फायदा होता है. But as a young students, your work is your meditation, your study is your meditation. And what is meditation actually? Meditation is nothing, it is not an act. Meditation is not something that you can do. Meditation is a state of mind. To get into a meditative state of mind means that you have the ability to concentrate deeply onto the task at hand. That task can be anything. I am a person who have been meditating regularly for now more than 20 years, and I can tell you that I get the same if I am meditating on a mantra or on a deity, or I am doing my work in the kitchen, cleaning my utensils or sweeping the floor or cleaning the bathroom. I get the same zoning of the mind when I am doing those mantra and other so-called meditation activities which we know as meditation. So meditation is nothing but the ability of a person, of a brain, of a mind to completely get into a task. आप जो भी काम कर रहे हैं, अगर आप आपकी पूरी अवेयरनेस के साथ उस काम को करेंगे, पूरी तन्मयता के संग उस काम को करेंगे, पूरे ध्यान के संग, पूरी एकाग्रता के संग आप उस काम को कर रहे हैं, वही मेडिटेशन है। एंड दैट गिव्स यू a beautiful feeling of peace, serenity, calmness. A leader has to be calm. A leader who's aggressive, who's getting into fights and brawls will never be a good leader. So I had touched upon the word called executive presence. It is very closely related with a good leader. वेन यू एंटर अ रूम, कहते हैं ना भाई, व्यक्तित्व में कुछ वजन होना चाहिए, पर्सनालिटी में कुछ वेट होना चाहिए, उसी को बोलते हैं एग्जीक्यूटिव प्रेजेंस। दैट व्हेन यू एंटर अ रूम, पीपल आर नोटिसिंग यू। इफ यू वांट टू बी अ पर्सन लाइक दैट, you have to invest in yourself. So gaining knowledge of other sectors is very much important. It's not that you know only about your software industry. You can know about art. You should read about history. You should read about world, about civilizations, about human behavior, about psychology, about health, about yoga, about sports, anything which interests you. एंड सपोज आपको म्यूजिक अच्छा लगता है, आपको गाने सुनने अच्छा लगता है, सो डेल्व लिटिल डीप इनटू द हिस्ट्री ऑफ म्यूजिक। सबसे पहले कहाँ से ह्यूमन काइंड ने कब से गाना गाना शुरू किया, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ म्यूजिक इज अवेलेबल। इंडिया में कितने तरीके के फोक म्यूजिक होते हैं, डिफरेंट स्टेट्स में कौन कौन से म्यूजिक पॉपुलर है, इंडिया में कितने तरीके के म्यूजिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स हैं। ठीक है, so not only that, so what happens, why we should do this, then you built up your personality. This is the process of building a good personality. A leader a leader has to have a good personality. So what does the word personality means? ये वर्ड को हम बहुत कॉमनली सुनते हैं, अरे उसकी पर्सनालिटी बहुत अच्छी है। सो पर्सनालिटी कम्स फ्रॉम अ ग्रीक वर्ड कॉल्ड persona. Persona is what is visible from outside. You are listening to me. अंदर में मैं अभी क्या हूँ, नहीं हूं, मैं अच्छा इंसान हूं, मैं बुरा इंसान हूं, अभी आपको ये सब नहीं मालूम है। अगर आफ्टर दिस 45 minutes टॉक, इफ यू आर आस्क्ड टू जज मी कि हाउ वाज द टॉक, हाउ विल यू जज मी? यू विल जज मी बेस्ड ऑन my total presentation, what I was talking, how I was talking, what the variety of the subjects that I talk about. This all goes into making a good personality. So to become a good leader, you need this solid foundation of a good personality. This personality comes when you uh, gain knowledge of different things. एंड एक अच्छी बात है कि आजकल ट्रैवलिंग बहुत पॉपुलर हो गई है, एंड इट्स वेरी गुड वेन एवर एनी वन ऑफ यू गेट अ चांस टू ट्रैवल outside your city, outside your state, if you get chance to participate in different inter college competitions and all that, you must do that. The more you meet people, and so when you go out, try to make new friends, try to expand your circle. This all is part of personality development. A personality is not made in one day. वो कोई कैप्सूल नहीं है कि वो पर्सनालिटी का कैप्सूल नहीं है कि मैंने खा लिया और मेरा बहुत बढ़िया पर्सनालिटी बन गया और अब मैं एकदम तगड़ा वाला लीडर बन जाऊंगा। नो, इट्स अ जर्नी विच इज डन millimeter by millimeter, bit by bit. Every day, your daily actions add something to yourself, बहुत पहले मैंने एक ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम का, कंपनी में हमें बहुत मौके मिलते हैं हमें ट्रेनिंग्स पे जाने के लिए, और बहुत अच्छे इंस्टीट्यूट्स में जाके खुद को ट्रेन करने के लिए। सो वन ऑफ द ट्रेनर्स हैड सेड समथिंग टू मी विच आई केप्ट इन माय माइंड एंड विच रियली इंस्पायर्ड मी। ही हैड टोल्ड मी दैट that whenever somebody is meeting you, मतलब आपसे जब कोई मुलाकात करता है और मुलाकात से वो निकलता है, तो you must give something to that person. आपसे जब भी कोई इंसान मिला, वो आपसे कुछ लेके जाना चाहिए। अब कुछ लेके जाना चाहिए जेब से, तो उसको कुछ रुपए पैसे तो निकाल के देने वाले नहीं है। कुछ लेके जाने का मतलब है कि योर मीटिंग विद समबडी should add some value into other person's life. ये बहुत ही पावरफुल टूल है टू बिल्ड गुड रिलेशनशिप्स। एंड लास्ट, आई वुड लाइक टू एंड माय टॉक विद सेइंग द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ नेटवर्किंग, and that's where our communication skills come into picture. So communication, like I told you, is what I want you to understand if I am effectively able to convey that. But when I would become a good communicator, when I have clarity of subject, अगर मुझे अपनी विषय वस्तु का अच्छे से ज्ञान है तो ही मैं उसको किसी दूसरे तक पहुंचा सकती हूँ। सो अभी इन द कमिंग डेज ऑफ आवर वर्क लाइफ, networking is very important. You must cultivate your relationships. We have seen that the human tendency is कि आज मेरा इस आदमी से काम निकल गया और उसके बाद मैं उस इंसान को भूल गया। But a good leader is one who first of all gives value to a human being. लीडर के लिए कोई छोटा और बड़ा नहीं होता है, all are equal, and you must give each person the dignity that the other person deserves. That's the hallmark of a great leader, that the leader comes across with each person with the same amount of warmth, with same amount of respect, irrespective of the chair. कि जो कुर्सी पर है, जो पावरफुल है, उसको तो आप रिस्पेक्ट देते हैं, लेकिन जो नहीं है कुर्सी पर, आप उसको इंसान ही नहीं समझते, इज द वर्स्ट ट्रेट दैट एनी ह्यूमन बीइंग कैन हैव. So have dignity for people, have respect for people, irrespective of their economic status, their status of education and place in society. Give dignity to the human being, that he is a human, deserves your respect. So, and networking. So, networking means that you nurture your relationships, but relationships are nurtured by two-way process. It's like a bank account. When can you withdraw money from a bank account? Only when you have deposited money, no? Right? इफ यू हैव नॉट डिपॉजिटेड, आपने अपने सेविंग्स अकाउंट में कुछ पैसा जमा नहीं किया, तो आप कुछ पैसा तो निकाल नहीं सकते ना वहां पर. सो रिलेशनशिप्स आर लाइक दैट, दे आर लाइक द बैंक अकाउंट्स वेयर यू nurture them over a period of time and you deposit. What would you deposit in a relationship? You would spend time, you would give your time, you would give effort, you would give kindness, you would give love, you would give nurturing a relationship. If you nurture a relationship well, it stands with you for life and it gives you back manyfold. So to become a good leader, you need to get into the art, the fine art of nurturing relationships, which are nurtured with authenticity. आप किसी को बेवकूफ बनाकर बहुत ज्यादा दूर की यात्रा नहीं कर सकते. So always remember that ethics and values are the two basic pillars of a leader, and your journey to leadership starts with investment in yourself. So I know it is a long talk, and you have been a very, very nice audience, and the pleasure of speaking was entirely mine. With this, I would now like to end with due regards to my host.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have keep on working out for this amazing placement. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session on communication and leadership. We now open the floor for a short question and answer interaction. And few students will be asking some questions from you, and you might answer accordingly. Who is the first one who wants to ask questions to ma'am?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. As you mentioned that communication is
Good
the
afternoon.
essence of leadership. How can we balance assertiveness and empathy in our communication style as leaders? Thank you.
Okay, so very good question. First, we have to understand the meaning of these two words. One word that you have used is called empathy. So, what is empathy? It closely rhymes with sympathy, but it's not sympathy. Empathy is that you are able to feel what the other person is feeling. Okay, and assertiveness is that you are able to put your point across. Assertiveness only means this. Again, assertiveness very closely rhymes with a word called aggressiveness, and people oftenly mistake leadership with being aggressive. कि अगर मैं एग्रेसिव नहीं हूँ तो मैं अच्छा लीडर नहीं हूँ, नहीं। अगर आप मूवीज देखते हैं ना, तो हिंदी मूवीज में सबसे खतरनाक विलन वो होते हैं, ऑल्दो आई एम नॉट विलेन की मैं बड़ाई नहीं कर रही हूँ, बट सबसे खतरनाक विलेन वो होते हैं जो अपनी अपनी बात अपनी बात सबसे पोलाइटली बोलते हैं, बहुत धीरे से बात करते हैं ना, वो बहुत खतरनाक लोग होते हैं। So to be effective, you need not be aggressive. If you are empathetic, you would automatically become assertive. These two are closely linked. I hope that I was able to answer to your question.
Is there anyone else who wants to ask a question? Please introduce by your name.
A very good afternoon, ma'am. I am Anubhav Gupta, pursuing MCA from Amity University. Ma'am, my question is that with majority of the interviews or professional interactions shifting online, so how can in this phase, preferably after COVID-19, so how the students can effectively demonstrate their leadership skills or communication skills during interviews, online interviews?
Very good question, Anubhav. Very good question. See, I'll tell you, I have had the chance of doing many interviews which were online. Okay. So, in one interview, this is no personal disregard to anyone. वो कैंडिडेट जो था वो इंटरव्यू के लिए आया और उसके पीछे जो दीवार थी ना, उसमें कपड़े टंगे हुए थे, इंक्लूडिंग अंडरगारमेंट्स। ओके, विच मीन्स कि वो बिल्कुल अनअवेयर था। अभी तो हमारे पास फैसिलिटी है ना, वी कैन पुट अ बैकग्राउंड। हम अपने जूम पे या ऑन अ टीम्स लिंक, आई कैन पुट एनी न्यूट्रल बैकग्राउंड। ओके, सो मे बी आई वुड ग्रांट दैट एज अ स्टूडेंट उसको वो मालूम नहीं होगा उतना, बट एक्चुअली मेरे कैमरा के पीछे यहाँ पे क्या दिख रहा है, आप देखो, आपको एक विंडो दिख रहा है, आयल दिख रहा है, एक कुछ सर्टिफिकेट दिख रहा है, ऑल दीज थिंग्स आई एम माई सेल्फ एबल टू सी ना कि व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग एट मी in the screen, what all is visible to you. That much awareness I should have when I am giving an interview. उस कैंडिडेट के पीछे खूंटी में कपड़े लटक रहे थे. What impression you think I would have as an interviewer? That's the answer. Be mindful of yourself, what all is visible in your background, and how again the cheerfulness and positivity and happiness in your face are a very big quotients.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Now it's my privilege to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Ms. Mona Shrivastava for her inspiring talk on From Code to Leadership. Your practical examples and inspiring story from clinical role leadership will remain a guiding light for all of us. Now, I would like to invite Rishika Verma and Akarshi Singh to share their one-line appreciation. And I was hesitant at first, but your experience and guidance has had literally helped me. Thank you so much. I would like now Agarshi Singh to give her one line appreciation.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you very much for this workshop. This workshop is very helpful for us. And today I learned a lot about the teamwork, time management, and discipline about our life. Thank you very much for the great experience, ma'am.
Thank you both of you. Now I would like to hear from the audience. How would you describe today's session? Please sort it out. Was it very inspiring, or did you guys learn about the leadership and about the insights which Ms. Mona Srivastava ma'am gave? So did you all like it? Yes. Thank you so much. It's wonderful that perfectly captures the spirit of today's talk. May I request everyone to kindly
Ah.
rise accordingly? Yes, my question.
Respected Mona Srivastava ma'am, Head Marketing, Consumer Retail Business Unit, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. My colleagues here and my beloved students. On behalf of the Director of Amity Institute of Technology, Professor Dr. Sanjay Singh, my own behalf, and most importantly, on behalf of our Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dr. Anil Vashish, Sir, I take this opportunity to thank Mona ma'am for taking her time off from a very busy schedule to deliver a talk from her own personal experiences on personal leadership. Mona ma'am, I wish to thank you from the core of my heart for having accepted our invite at such a short notice. And I must tell you, all the attributes that you chalked out for any individual who wants to show personal leadership are ones that are worth the salt that you mentioned. I'm very grateful to you for sharing your personal experiences with us in trying to persuade us to see the value of personal leadership even before we think of becoming leaders in our own work worlds. Thank you very much, Mona ma'am. I hope to see you again. Our students hope to see you again, and we hope to see you in person this time. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Allow me to just say 2 sentences and then I would drop. Thank you, ma'am, for having me here. And I really enjoyed talking. And I'm also looking forward to meeting all of you physically whenever it's possible. And I wish each one of the student a very bright future. And I have no doubt that they would be able to fulfill their dreams. I give them my best wishes with all that I have. Thank you. Okay, I can drop off now with your permission.
Yes, ma'am. It's just like everybody. Please
Thank
kindly
you so
rise
much.
and
Thank
join
you.
me for a round of applause for Miss
Thank
Mona
you,
Srivastava.
everybody.